Did I make the right choice? I think it's fair to say that it has been the year of the Y2K running shoe, with early 2000s mesh runners easily being the most popular sneakers on the market right now. One of those models has been the New Balance 1906R, and in this video I'll be reviewing the collab between New Balance and Danish fashion brand GANNI on the 1906R. So these very clean sneakers released worldwide on August the 18th after initially releasing only on the GANNI website on August the 16th for a retail price of $170 and in Europe these went for 180 euros. And it seems like these were quite limited because from what I can tell, only pretty much the New Balance store and GANNI received these. I was able to walk into the New Balance store and pick these up on release date. They had both colorways available and I spent a lot of time debating which colorway to get, and eventually I went with this white pair. Although I will say that yellow pair, I actually really like those as well, but I figured that I maybe wouldn't get much use out of them. And to me at least, that seemed like a colorway that you could only really wear in the summertime, and we're pretty much at the end of summer right now, so that's why I eventually did go with the white pair. But let me know in the comments, did I make the wrong decision? So the first time the world actually saw these sneakers were just a couple of weeks ago during Copenhagen Fashion Week, where GANNI revealed this during their runway show. I actually happened to be in Copenhagen last week and I just kept seeing posters of this collab all over the city. GANNI is a super popular brand over there, so I kind of wish that these released a week earlier so I could have worn them in Denmark, but you can't have everything, right? So these two brands have actually partnered previously on another model, the 2002R, which came out last year, and that pair featured much more muted colors like gray and white, but it had a lot more branding. You can see the GANNI logo all over the upper of those shoes. And on the second collab here, it's kind of the opposite. The colors they've chosen are much more bolder and the shoes instead have much less branding, which I think is pretty representative of GANNI, the brand itself. If you have a look at most of their clothes, they're all about the loud colors and the prints. But even though there wasn't much branding on the shoe, they more than made up for it with this box. One of the loudest New Balance boxes I've seen, all over yellow with GANNI print written in black. And let's get into sneakers now. So this pair does feature an all over white color on the upper, although I wouldn't describe it as a pure white. It's much more of an eggshell color. Most of the upper is done in mesh in that eggshell color, and you also get some synthetic leather panels as well. But really my favorite part about the shoe is all of the black detailing throughout the upper. This looks so good to me, and it highlights all of the different structural elements of the 1906R better than I think any colorway previously has. You get more black detailing on the midsole, and also the outsole is done in black. And for a nice little pop of color, the N logo is done in this highlighter yellow color, the exact same shade of yellow on the box as well as that other pair. And I think that N logo surrounded by that black outline just looks really nice on the shoe. It really pops. And as with all of the other 1906 models, this shoe does come with that N-lock technology, which is basically these two straps which form a loop around the laces and then go through the N logo and then move down throughout the midfoot area of the shoe to give you that lockdown feeling when you tie your laces. The midsole of the sneaker is done in a very light gray color, which I think contrasts pretty well with the upper and gives the shoe somewhat of a vintage look. By the way, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second. I'm dropping content just like this every single week, so make sure you are subscribed. Some interesting laces come with this pair. So the regular laces are these hiking style laces, which are done in black and white detailing. And normally I'm not a fan of when the laces contrast so much with the upper. However, in this case, because throughout the upper you have this black detailing which is contrasting anyways, for that reason I actually think these laces just go perfectly with the rest of the shoe. But if you're not feeling those hiking laces, you also get an additional pair of cream flat style laces, the typical laces that you get with most New Balances. You can try those on, see if you like that better. Personally, I am gonna stay with these black ones. At the back of the sneaker, you get two pull tabs there, one in yellow with the New Balance logo on it, and underneath you have the GANNI logo done in black. And it seems like having two pull tabs is now a signature of GANNI and New Balance, because even the previous shoes had those. There is a bit more GANNI branding on the shoes, so on the tongue you have it, also on the insole, and then you get this very subtle G and N logo on these leather tabs on the toe box. Moving on to comfort. So when it comes to comfort, the 1906R is simply one of my favorite sneakers. The midsole is exactly the same as the 2002R. They both come from the 860 V2. So whether or not one is more comfortable than the other, to me, they both pretty much feel the same on feet, except for the upper. So the upper on the 1906R is what for me makes it stand out. That N-lock technology really makes my feet feel locked in. So this is just a matter of personal preference, but I do prefer how the 1906Rs feel on feet versus the 2002R. Not that one is better than the other, it's just a matter of preference. And when it comes to sizing, there's always an endless debate when it comes to 2002Rs and 1906 about whether or not you should go true to size or a half size down. A lot of people say they should go half size down, and I still think they're crazy because I don't know how you could possibly fit in these shoes a half size down. I actually find these kind of snug even at true to size. However, I will stick with true to size in these. At true to size, from a width perspective, they fit perfectly, and it also has just the right amount of room in the toe area. When I try going a half size down in 1906Rs, I definitely feel like my pinky toe is getting a bit squished in. True to size for me is definitely the way to go, but I understand a lot of you guys prefer to go a half down, so I would suggest going with your preferred New Balance size. So for me, I wear the exact same size in the 1906R as I do pretty much every New Balance 990 sneaker as well. And just for those of you who do not have another New Balance shoe to compare this with, I also fit the same size in these as I do Nike Dunks and pretty much all Jordan brand sneakers as well. Overall, the New Balance 1906R collaboration with GANNI, I really like these a lot. I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of them too. I've noticed that this year especially, maybe it's just a getting older thing, but when it comes to which shoes I decide to wear every day, I really do value comfort much more than what they look like nowadays, which is primarily why this year I've been mainly just wearing New Balance and Asics. And this is yet another very stylish looking shoe that I can add to my rotation and get a lot of use out of because the colorway is pretty easy to wear. At least for me, out of all of the 1906R collabs we've seen so far, these are easily my favorite. If you watch my review of the Aimé Leon Dore 1906R, you know I didn't particularly like that shoe too much. The colorway was just not my style. I wasn't feeling it. These are definitely fire though. Happy to add these. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, make sure you do. I'm dropping content every single day on there, so definitely that is where I'm most active. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.